Welcome to Behind Olivia O. Today we have the pleasure of chatting with cast member Valeria Aceves, who is portraying the role of Olivia Ortiz in the Toronto Fringe Festival production of Olivia O, the musical. Hi, Valeria, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to have you here and to get to chat with you.
Yeah, me too.
So, to start us off, could you share a little bit about yourself and your background in theater?
Yeah, so I'm actually originally from Mexico. And ever since I was a little kid, my parents love theater and there's like a big theater scene in Mexico, so they would take me see the shows there and everything, and I was like, "Oh, I want to do this." So I started doing theater at like academies there. I was in an academy called T Stage. Um, and then eventually, when it came time to choose my career, it was just pretty obvious to me. So I came here to Canada to pursue um, theater. I got into Sheridan, um, and it was amazing. And I really loved Canada. I love Canada. I think it's like such a beautiful country, and I love the arts community here. And so I was like, I want to stay here. So yeah, so I've just been growing my career here. I graduated last year, which is crazy. It seems like it went by so fast. But yeah, I graduated last year and I've just been doing shows around Canada, and then I did a show in the US as well. I did a workshop production back in January. And yeah, that's a little bit about my background in theater.
Wow, it's amazing. And I mean, we're so lucky to have such an incredible theater scene in Canada and such great theater education, just like Sheridan. Sheridan's incredible. And to get to bring this story to the Fringe and to Canada, especially because it's this Canadian debut, it's just so exciting how everything kind of comes back to this wonderful place.
Yeah.
So, when did you first really fall in love with theater and what inspired you to become a performer?
Um, So the first time I was like, oh, really love this. I was in the fifth grade. Um, and I was in a production of Peter Pan. And it was my school production, but the way that they did the school productions in my school was like they rented out a theater and they did like a whole thing. And so I was casted as Wendy in that production, and they made me fly on stage. Like they put on a harness on me and I was flying around. And I was like, this is awesome. Like I want to do this always. Um so I think that's like my first memory of it, but I have like seen videos of myself and just like the way I would play as a kid. I think it was very obvious where I was heading. Like I used to, as I'm sure many of the arts performers, I used to like direct plays with like my siblings and my cousins. And the way I used to play, I used to reenact entire movies. So like my favorite movie was like Beauty and the Beast, and then I would reenact like scene for scene, like the entire movie just by myself. So I think I've always had a love for this and a passion for the performing arts. Um, and yeah, I what inspired me to follow this, I feel like I was lucky enough to have a lot of great teachers throughout my career that really just like put that love in me for the arts and showed me just how important it is. I think like the arts is such an important job that sometimes is undermined. Um, but we are nothing without the arts, you know? And I think it's just so beautiful that we get to do a job that touches people. I think that's what really inspired me to go into it, that I get to do something that people will talk about afterwards, that like makes people talk, makes people think. That I like it when someone can see themselves in you on stage. Um, so that was really for me my main reason for wanting to pursue theater, or from the fact that I love it.
But I relate to that so much because I always say the best art is the art that makes you reflect. It's the art
Mhm.
that lasts long after the curtain closes, that you think about during dinner, that you can't get out of your head, that you talk about with your friends and family. And I think it's so special that we get to do that, that it's our job to tell these stories that leave a lasting feeling in people, that truly change lives and ultimately the world. It's such a special job that we get to do.
Yeah.
So, what about Olivia O made you say, I want to be part of this? Why did you feel the need to be part of telling this important
Um,
story?
I think there, unfortunately, there aren't a lot of um Latino stories out there. Like, I mean, sure, we have like In the Heights, and like we have West Side Story. Um, but then I can't really like even think of any others that really like showcase Latino stories and that really like center themselves around Latino characters. Um, so when I saw Olivia O, oh, I guess Real Women Have Curves as well. Um, so yeah, when I think it's just there's just something so beautiful about having the opportunity to play someone of your same background on stage. I think it's very rare. I think because a lot of the times all these stories are centered around um, white characters. Um, People of color or like Latinos were like we tend to always been like we're always asked to represent a character that like it's like we're always have to put ourselves in like someone else's shoes in like a weird way. So like it's just like really beautiful to have an opportunity to play a character of the same background as you. I think there's something like so special about it, and I think it's really really important to showcase stories that are of different backgrounds than the ones that we've been exposed to, um, because um, it's just like it's just important so people can see it. Like I feel like a lot of people maybe sometimes don't have the like the opportunity to be exposed to those cultures, to be exposed to this types of stories, but these are important stories as well. So yeah, so when I saw Olivia, I actually like it was a friend of mine that sent me the casting call, and she was like, "They're looking for Latinas in Toronto, and you should apply." I was like, and I saw it, and I was like, yeah, I should apply. Um, and so I did, and now I'm here. But yeah, I think it's really important to tell this kinds of story because I think maybe sometimes people just don't know. And t- I think it's important to show what is happening, to show the world as it is, right? Like the world is so big. It's not only like my town in Toronto or like in the States. Um, so yeah.
I think what's so beautiful about our show is that, like you were saying, it really shows the world because the world is so big. And I feel like it pains me to say this, but it's the reality of our world is that people feel that if they don't have skin in the game and it doesn't affect them firsthand, it doesn't really matter to them because it doesn't affect them firsthand. But we all live in the same place and this is our world. And I always bring it back to the finale of Olivia O. It's entitled Weave the World. And it's our job to weave that world that was given to us when our people are struggling. And we all need to be one because we all are one because we live in the same world and we live in the same place. And because our show really translates what's happening in real life onto the stage, we might be a voice for the voiceless, and we might be a wake-up call to people that don't know what's happening and they didn't realize that these events were happening in their own world. And there is absolutely nothing like seeing yourself represented on stage for the first time. And I'm just so grateful that you get to be our Olivia and that you get to do that for all the people that are going to get to come and see the show. So what are you most looking forward to about portraying Olivia in Olivia O?
Um, yeah, I think I spoke about it a little bit, but I really always cherish when I get to play a Latino character. So I'm really really looking forward to that. I I don't know, there's just something about playing a character that is from like your same culture and a little bit of your same background that is just it just feels like it feels a little bit more real. It feels like you can connect a little bit more, even the way that the script is written. Sometimes it's like a lot of like how I would speak or how I would go through the world, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. It's so special to be given a script and read it for the first time, and you're reading the lines that your character is saying, and you're like, wow, this is me.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful to get to, step into those shoes and play a character that's so much like you. Oh, and what do you hope people will understand or relate to about Olivia?
Um, I think Olivia in this musical, she goes through so much so much stuff and like so much heartbreak. Um so I hope, but I think I hope people will see themselves in her, despite like cultural background or just because I feel like that's the beauty of theater. Like even if you're not going through the same things that the character is going through, I think there's always still like you are representing like a human being, right? It's like a human life, and I think just like as humans, we tend to have compassion for one another, and then when we're shown these stories, we get to like relate to them. So I hope people um yeah, I hope people are able to see a little bit of themselves in Olivia. I hope, and also hope that this also helps people like understand well the scope of the situation, of like especially with what's going on in the states right now. um I feel like we see so many things in the news, and there's like so much heartbreak, and I think it's very easy to and I think it's easy and I think it's normal for people to just kind of like want to get away from that and not really and be like, okay, like this is not about me, or be like, oh yeah, that's horrible. And I think that's totally normal, right? Like no one wants to be exposed, like it's horrible what's happening. um but I hope that maybe seeing it in a context of a stage production and seeing it in a context where you actually get to know the characters that are going through this stuff will really like help people empathize even more with the situation and just like really understand um what is happening, what this means for millions of families that are going through the same thing or that have gone through the same thing in the States and when it comes to immigration. Um, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was so, so beautifully said. And what excites you most about performing at the Toronto Fringe Festival?
Yeah, so I mean I've never been at the Fringe, so this will be my Fringe debut. Um, I what excites me most is that I feel like Fringe is such a great platform for new works. I think they really care. I think the French really cares. So I'm really excited to be in an environment where people care about new stories, where people want these stories to be shown, and they really want to push these stories out into the world. That's what I'm most looking forward to. to be working in an environment where we all want to do this. We all want to like put out these stories um for the audiences to see. Um so yeah, I think that's what really excites me the most about working at the Fringe.
Yep. And it's so special because not only did we cast the most incredibly talented people, but we also casted people who care so deeply about this story and who also have such great personal connections to it. And it shines through in their acting and in their storytelling. And it's just so beautiful to see that this story is a part of their heart and it translates so beautifully on stage. So we touched on it a little bit, but when you think about audiences seeing Olivia O, what are you most excited for them to experience?
um I think I'm very excited for them to experience also the beautiful things about the Latino culture, because I'm sure like Olivia is a show where there is a lot of heartbreak and there is a lot of things happening, but I feel like, and um I feel like with Latino in like Latino countries, or at least like in my country, like back home, whenever like something bad happens, there's the sense of community that forms around that is just outstanding. Like, so I feel like I hope, like I'm very excited for audiences to see that in Olivia O as well, because there are like these horrible things happening, but Olivia is never really alone. She has her community, she has her people, she has people fighting for her. Um, so I hope that that can also be something that audiences take away from of how beautiful the Latino community is, and how beautifully we we come together, um and how we try to make the best out of like the most horrible situations. um so I think that's also like a message that it's like, and like a mindset that is very important to have, that it's like even when things are going wrong, even when when things are not going the way you wanted them, and when horrible things are happening to you, like there's still a community out there. Like you can always rely on your community, and please rely on your community, and like get help, and ask for help. And yeah, just I think that's the main thing I hope audiences take away from the sense of community, and how you're never truly alone when you have your community of people.
Yeah. It's so beautiful to see how all of these characters are going through their own struggles and living their own lives. But when they find out what is happening to Olivia, they all band together and it's done in the most beautiful way. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but it is so beautiful to see how it's a journey of people prevailing and fighting and protesting for what is right. And I think it's just such a beautiful love letter to communities and leaning on your community and making lemons and lemonade and lemons. And I always, it brings me back to that quote of, you have to make lemonade out of your lemons.
Yeah.
And I think that it is so, so special to get to watch our community do that, both on stage and off. So, what does being part of this show mean to you personally, especially as an immigrant yourself?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's just that, like, just being an immigrant, I feel like anyone who's an immigrant will understand it's really hard. And I feel like sometimes people who haven't immigrated, um it's hard to understand just how tough it is, and I think um this show means a lot, because it is showing how I don't think anyone wants to really like immigrate. I don't think anyone really wants to like leave their country, but I think sometimes you have dreams and sometimes you have aspirations, and maybe the place that you're in, you can't really um, follow those to the extent that you would like to. So you leave, and you leave your family, and you leave what you know, you live your language, like it is going to a country where I don't I don't speak Spanish here. I mean, I have a couple Latino friends, and it's so nice when I get to hang out with them and we get to speak in Spanish. But um, my roommates all speak in English. My partner is Canadian. We also speak in English all the time. So it's being in a country where like you don't you don't really know the language. A lot of the times you don't know how to express yourself with the right words. So maybe you just keep quiet because you don't know exactly just how to say it. It's um yeah, it's just that I feel like it's also like it's just harder for everything. It's not being able to go home for the holidays because you're waiting for a decision on your visa. um and it's yeah, so I think I think I can relate to it a lot from the point of view of being someone who immigrated for for a better life and for better opportunities. Yeah.
I'm so inspired by you and your journey, and I just can't wait for you to lead this show with such beauty and such grace and with your incredible talent. It's going to be amazing. Oh. So, what is something that you hope the audiences will take away from this story, whether it's a life lesson or a motto or something that you hope that they carry with them forever after they see the show?
Um, I think people I hope audiences are able to again like relate to the resiliency and just that mindset of even when things get hard, like you can always keep going. Like I think yeah, I think that's what I hope audiences take away from this story, the resiliency of these communities and the resiliency, and it's just very important. And I feel like that's a very um and just like the hard work of of the Latino communities and everything. I think that's something that audiences can really see through this story and be able to take away that when after they've seen the show, to be able to see just how hardworking and resilient this and beautiful these communities are, and how much they care for their own and for each other.
And how has being part of Olivia O inspired you as a performer?
Um, well, like I mean, obviously I haven't been here for that long. Um, but I think as you said, it is like a group of people that really care. Um, and I think that's always really inspiring to work with people who care so deeply, because I believe when people care about the stories that they're telling, then the audiences will care. I think audiences care about what people care about. We care about what other people care about. So that has been really inspiring. Being able to work on a show where everyone deeply believes in the project and deeply believes in the story that we're trying to tell.
Definitely. And last but not least, if you could sum up the show in one word, what word would it be and why?
Ooh, okay. Let me think about it. I think it would be strength. And that's just because I think I'm going to choose strength because it's just this whole story, like every single character. is so strong, and they are they're so strong, and they're fighting for what they believe in. And so yeah, I think I that's what I would choose for the show. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Valeria, for being here and for the passion and care you bring to Olivia O. And thank you to everyone tuning in to Behind Olivia O. We can't wait for you to experience the show, and we'll see you at the 2026 Toronto Fringe Festival. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.